Haggadah of Shabbos, this week's Parshas, Parshas Emor. Parshas Emor, right in the beginning of the Parsha, it says, Emor l'kayin b'nei Arayin, ve'amarta aleyam l'nefesh le'yitama ba'amav, and it's talking about Tumas Kayanim, that Kayin is not supposed to be Metame, and this is talking about that Isser. Rashi right away brings the obvious question, actually brings from a Gemara in Yevamis, and he says that it seems to be a double lashon, Emor ve'amarta. So, Emor ve'amarta, because it means to speak and then to say. What is this double lashon? So Rashi brings that Emor is talking about the Kayhanims observing the mitzvahs, and ve'amarta is lahazir gedolim al ketanim, very famous to warn the adults with respect to the children, meaning that the Kayhanim, not only do they have to keep the halachas themselves, but they also have to pass it on to their children. But the question begs, where is this? Where do we see the concept of chinuch over here? What does Emor ve'amarta have to do with chinuch? So I saw in the from Rav Moshe in the Darish Moshe, he says something very beautiful. I think a very good lesson. And Rav Moshe says that the Gemara understood Emor ve'amarta as referring to two different components of chinuch, two different parts of chinuch. Really a beautiful pshat. The Emor part is talking about that you have to tell your children, or the part that says the do's and the don'ts of the religion. This is what you're allowed to do. This is what you're not allowed to do. That's the Emor. For example, Shabbos, you have to do this. You're not allowed to do that. That's the Emor part. The problem is that chinuch doesn't work. That's not enough. That's not enough for chinuch. A kid is not just going to listen to a bunch of rules, a bunch of do's and don'ts. Because imagine a parent comes home and he says, this is what Shabbos is. You're not allowed to do this. You're not allowed to do that. You're not allowed to do all these things. You can't carry. You're not allowed to do anything. It's so hard, but I do it anyway. That doesn't work. Kids see right through that, because one day they're going to say, well, good for you. You were miserable your whole life keeping the mitzvahs. I don't want to be miserable. That's only the Emor part, because you're missing the ve'amarta part. Ramesha says ve'amarta is talking about the second part of the chinuch, showing them the joy, the fulfillment in Torah life, a close relationship with Hashem, devoting yourself to Hashem, how wonderful it is, and how beautiful the Torah is. That's the ve'amarta part, and that part has to be passed down just as much, maybe even more, but at least just as much as the actual do's and don'ts. I heard a great line this week. Someone said we should be telling kids not you have to do this. We should be telling them you have to do this. Meaning to say, it's so amazing, you have to try this. Not you have to do this. As in, I'm commanding you that this is what you have to do. You have to show them the joy, the enthusiasm, the excitement in Yiddishkeit. That's the ve'amarta. That's modeling the joy, the gratification that Torah life brings. So that's what Rav Moshe says. That's the connection between Emor ve'amarta and Lahazir Gedolim al Ketanim, to educate your children. The process of chinuch is on two levels. The Emor, yes, you have to teach them the do's and the don'ts, but the ve'amarta of telling them this is how we live our life, it's exciting and it's beloved and the Torah is beautiful. That part that we have to pass down is just as important. Lahazir Gedolim al Ketanim, may we all merit to have that impact on other people. Have an amazing Shabbos.